Welcome back, fans of the beard. McBeardy here with SpellForce, Conquest of. I've heard people pronounce it EO. I don't know that it's supposed to be EO. I think it's probably more AO or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, played a little bit of this just to get an idea of what it's all about so that I'm not spending forever just like thinking and looking like, okay, how does this mechanic work? So I have a pretty basic idea of how the game works. I played SpellForce 3, enjoyed that game quite a bit. This game is a lot different. It is a turn-based hex-grid style tactics game, and I love hex-grid games like that. For instance, Age of Wonders, this is very similar to. And so I'm very interested to play this game, really dig my teeth into it, and we'll get on started. So we're going to start campaign. There's three choices, at least for right now. The Alchemist, you can, well, do alchemy. Not too complicated in terms of, what they're doing. Necromancer, your main deal with the Necromancer is, of course, summoning undead, but they're going to be more of your various troop sizes. So the Alchemist is more of doing various stuff like during a battle, and Necromancer is more doing stuff to create bigger armies, and the Artificer, you can make like runes and stuff, and that character is more like prepping to make specific units a lot stronger. I played around with a little bit with the Artificer. I enjoyed some of the stuff that the Artificer did. The idea of just Alchemist, just in general, doesn't really quite do it for me as much. The Necromancer definitely is up my alley, but everyone says that the Necromancer is like the easiest one to do, so I'm like, I don't want it to be super easy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with the Artificer here and start on up. It looks like it's just all one map, so these are just different starting locations that make it easier or harder depending on where you start in the map. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start nice and medium here, nothing crazy. And there are a bunch of different people that we can choose as our enemies. We're going to leave it as random for now because I'm not even sure. I didn't even meet any of these. To my knowledge, I didn't meet any of these in my last little run of very small. Balanced is probably where we're going to go. Who want to familiarize with themselves with the game. It's interesting that it started on this one because I definitely played Balanced last time. Story mode, of course, is really easy. Impossible, of course, is really hard. So Balanced it is. During the War of the Six Races, the Iberian Empire fell into ruin and split into the Highmark, North Tundra, and Imperia. Zarak and Nor are renegade guardians revered by the Dark Races. I enjoy when they have little, little tiny lore bits in that area. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ignore the story. If you want to read the story, you can go ahead and pause the video. I'm just going to head on right through it. Alright, so it looks like we start with a little group of people here. Our hero is like this special mage person in the sky that just controls everything. We don't actually have a mage that's our own character that we play as. We control an army. So it looks like we've got a little fire spitter people here, artificer minions, and a couple of little goblin brawlers here. It looks like we're supposed to go over here to the Master's Tower, so we're going to head on over. We're going to go ahead and skip the combat tutorial, and we're going to go over to the goblin camp. The hex grid on the map is not only the strategic way to do it, but it's also in the tactical battles here. So we're going to walk on over, The dotted lines indicate that it will take another turn, and then the number indicates how many additional turns it will be. Go ahead and intern. Undiscovered is going. These books are flying around everywhere. So I'm going to go to the library, go to the grimoire. I get 10 research points. I'm going to go ahead and select my little group of people, go into the goblin camp. This is the theoretical combat prowess number for the enemies, and this is our combat prowess number here. It's not clear on here, but you can kind of see under here past the overlay. Looks like we've got a band of cutthroats. Ooh, they're tier 2. And a band of arsonists, which are tier 1. We can look through the special moves and whatnot, which might not be a bad idea, actually. So it looks like these guys can throw torches. It takes 1 action, so it'll deal a little bit more damage, but it'll take 1 action to do it, as opposed to multiple. And these guys can throw knives, but their throw knives are pretty bad. We can always auto-resolve battles and will give us a decisive victory. I think that this indicates that they anticipate these guys dying if we do an auto-resolve, so we're not going to do that. I think I'm going to be better than the computer. Press any key. Oh, we're just starting right in. Just going for it. They're ready to rock and roll. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And we've got these cutthroats over here. They are the tier 2 people that their melee is a little bit worse than their range. And we've got these arsonists that I'm a little bit more concerned about their range. We're going to head on over into these trees. One thing that bugs me is that there's no way, at least that I've found, to tell what exactly different pieces of terrain do. So, you try to figure out what trees exactly do, and that answer is maybe nothing. So, generally, being in trees is a good thing. So that's what we're going to do. And we're just going to go ahead and intern. We've got our 2 melee people over here. We've got a ranged person over here. And we'll see how that works out. Each unit has 3 actions that they can take a turn. Walking, fighting, all of those are actions. Whenever a person attacks another person in melee combat, they spend an action to attack back. This action does not get replenished at the beginning of their turn. You replenish actions at the end of your turn. So you can actually use up an enemy's actions by attacking them and having them counterattack you so that they can't move later on. There's also a zone of control, so there's lots of different ways to stop people from getting to your back line if you are looking specifically for that, and you're kind of intelligent with your moves, and you're kind of willing to sacrifice some of your health of your front line. So we're going to go ahead and we are flanking here, so it looks like we're getting extra damage. These little arrows indicate whether you're going to be able to flank someone, and since they're facing this way and we're coming from the bottom, we'll have some extra damage. So we've got some extra burning here, which let's look and see what the burning does. It'll deal 10% of their maximum health as elemental damage. It reduces their willpower. Willpower is somewhat meaningful because as it decreases, they can become disordered and broken, which is pretty significant in terms of the amount of damage that they're able to do. Whenever you attack anyone, that will use up your all of your actions. When you attack someone, you're done. That finishes your turn. So we could attack them I don't necessarily want to do that. They have first strike, so they're going to attack first anyway. So I'm going to let them attack me. Oh, well, if they do, then I have a pretty good chance of dying. If I attack them, I don't know. We shall see. We'll go this way, because they're gonna have one action left. Oh yeah, they have a pretty good chance of us killing us here. 11 to 16. Yeah, they have a pretty good chance. I maybe should have defended instead. Yeah, they died. Oh well, it is what it is. Units die pretty frequently in this game, I've noticed. It is not too difficult to get them back, especially the tier 1 units. As power increases in general over time, I'm guessing that the hit point boxes are going to increase by significant amounts in the armor and whatnot, while the power that each unit deals won't increase by quite as much, so you'll be able to work around a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and right-click these guys because they've got a little level up. And in order to level up, you can click this little button and you get your option of 2 different things. So you can do piercing attacks or speed. I think I care more for these guys about... I'm not sure, because piercing attacks against armored units, I don't know how many armored units these guys are really going to be fighting before they too inevitably die. The speed will be nice, though, to get them into the positions that they need to be in. So I guess we'll go ahead and click that. Oh, they have 2 level ups. What up? Okay, cool. Well, definitely getting the armor. They're a frontline unit, so getting the armor where we can. These guys, they have a specific, they're fantastic, so if a unit is of magical origin, they can't gain experience. So, no experience upgrades for them. I like them a lot, but they're, not being able to gain experience is I'm not a fan of. Okay, cool. So we get a lesser glyph of Bowman, +2 missile damage, which is pretty sweet. Lesser glyph of the Owl, which is extra bonus XP, which is pretty awesome, and a lesser glyph of the Fire Wielder, which, when you're attacking enemies that already have burning, you get +6 damage, which is also good. These glyphs are all really good. And 10 gold. Let's collect the things. Okay, so there's like random caches that are scattered about by the people. So we're going to go ahead and move over there, and we're going to get some of that gold. If we go over here, we're going to be attacked by these wolves, and I don't particularly want to do that right now. So we're going to go back here, we're going to heal up a little bit. We're going to start up some research over here, and we're going to, apparently to start that we have to build the glyph smithy in the tower. So we'll click the tower, we can click a room to build, which the glyph smithy it shall be. We could also probably make the workshop as well, because we have enough gold. We don't have enough mana in order to make the study. And these work independently of each other. The time works independently of each other, so it's not like we are making this any slower by doing any more of this building or vice versa. We'll look at the various inventory. Ooh, we might be able to equip this on units. I don't know that I had any artifacts or armor in the last playthrough. At least I didn't look, I guess, at it. So, hey, this might be meaningful here. But I might be on like more of a hero. Alright, so we took over a little area where it allows us to hire some goblins. So I want to hire a goblin shaman. It bugs me that you can't double click in order to queue it up. You have to click them to select them and then come all the way down here to click this little hire button. I mean, it's not that far, but it's also like, why can't I just double click in order to have that go? And I don't know. So now it's letting me do research, I guess. We can sniff out some gold. We can summon an enchanted wisp. Oh, I just didn't start the next. Go to the next deal. So a lot of these different things for research, they just give you different spells that you can use in the strategic mode. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start researching aid, because in general I like heals. And then for the spell selecting, you can select a unit, or not a unit, but a spell to cast, and in the strategic map it'll attempt to cast it. So in this case, this one costs 9 mana. We have 10 mana, and this will corrode the armor. It'll give -1 armor to a stack on the battlefield. But we only get +5 per turn, so I don't want to do this because I don't know that I care quite so much about -1 armor. It is meaningful because a lot of times you'll have the ability to attack 3 times in a turn, but that's still just 1 per attack. I don't know. So I'm going to close that out. And we've got our turn is ended. So go ahead and do that. The glyph smithy was constructed. So we'll go ahead and hop on into the glyph smithy. This is the grimoire. Variousness. Okay. Got a little bit more research to go for that. We'll head into the tower. We've got that glyph smithy going. Inventory, of course. This is where we can see all of our hiring people, and this is where we can see all of our glyph making. So to make a glyph, we need to add in an ore, and it looks like we can add in, and you can add in anything in your inventory, and these little dots indicate what it will take in order to go to the next tier of like elementals. So in this case, we've got mountain copper, which gives us 1 orange. So we need 3 oranges to get to the next tier of the elemental train. We would need 6 in order to get to tier 2, and 9 in order to get to tier 3. And so tier 1 is a glyph of the fire wielder. Now I would have to use the glyph of the bowman, the lesser glyph of the bowman, in order to make this glyph. I don't particularly want to do that. You can add in other stuff in order to make different glyphs, and so in this case, it will give us +1 death damage, and then this unit's melee and missile attacks deal death damage. So it changes the damage, which is pretty cool. I haven't actually seen stuff do that quite yet, because I didn't experiment too much with making different glyphs. I just used the glyphs that it kind of gave me at the beginning. I made a couple of different ones, but I still didn't do too much. So in this one now, we have tier 2 of the elemental glyphs, and then tier 1 of the arcane. So this will give a cursed shackle skill to a unit, and we can apply enslaved. And this unit has been enslaved and will be forced into the slaver's service after combat. So that's interesting. So we could just like take people over. That actually might be worth getting rid of all these glyphs. Probably not. These glyphs are pretty good. But that's something to keep in mind going forward. That this combination does this. This is a cool glyph. And then there's the number of turns that it would take below. So there's two things that we would fight up there. We might just hang out for a little while. Well, we'll go over to this hunting lodge, see what happens over here. Absolutely nothing is what occurred there. Okay, fine. This is a harvestable plant or ore. Visiting heals all mortal units for 30% of their maximum life. Oh, we got a mana stash over here. We'll head over to the mana stash, because I don't think that these guys can harvest. Yeah, I don't have a unit that can harvest. I only have a unit that can mine. So I would need to go over here to this mine in order to mine it. And then it will be all mine! I won't let them stop me, and I'll check in with them too. I don't know what any of that means. But if we go over here to this hamlet, we have a main adventure here, and control of this location is conflicted, so we're actually going to have a fight here if we go this way. Let's see what happens. So there's a village here, and they're like, get out of here. So I wonder if we should be mean to them, or if we should be nice, or just inquisitive. Kind of the deal with this thing is that we're trying to be the best mage in the world, in the whole kingdom, and our master died or something. And now we're taking over his little area because he gave it to us or something. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, since we're trying to be the best, I wonder if we should scare him into submission. It's just a little hamlet, right? Oh, but it is close to us. Let's show them no harm because they're in close proximity to us. Maybe we can get them to fight for us or something. Oh, we wanted to trade them in the right to buy clothes for our children. So it's just a bunch of resources that they have. Well, let's go ahead and trade with them. Yeah, we'll go ahead and be nice. I don't have like any gold to spare. I'm not getting any of it. So, let's do some mana because we're getting 5 of that a turn. So we got some wheat ingredients, some ore, a heat stone ingredient, which has quite a few different properties, and a little glyph. And then an undiscovered faction likes us now. And more importantly, what this gives us is +1 gold per turn and +1 thing. You would think that this symbol would give us more crafting slots given that they're the same symbol. But no, it's an additional unit hiring slot, which I will absolutely take. I think we're going to need another melee unit. Ah, that's right. No double clicking. Ah, it's so frustrating. I wonder if... Yeah, we'll go with 2 melee units. I think that that's probably the best bet. And then we'll walk on over here, get some mana. And then we have finished our research. So let's work on this Summon Enchanted Wisp. dealio. Nobody has low health right now, but... Ooh, Dwarven Vault. They fortify their underground halls with old artifice magic. The meaning of these glyphs can be changed, wishing for good fortune and gold. Oh, okay, so this lets us change glyphs around, which would be good. So this gives them +5 magical daily regeneration. I wonder if it's just for the next day, though. I suppose it probably is. So let's go ahead and cast that so that it's in our queue, so that then when these guys do fight next, I'll cast it before the battle, or after, I guess. It doesn't really matter. And on the next day, they'll heal. Alright, end turn. Alright, so we've got one more turn before both of these are done. Let's look at making a little... Well, no, first off, I want to see... Can I put... These are just glyph slots. Can I put on these guys? I thought that I didn't really see any spots for any equipment. So like those thief gloves, I thought that I couldn't put them on here. But we do get heroes eventually. We do get leader slots. So I wonder if that equipment can go onto a leader. So I'm not going to, for the glyph slot, I'm not going to break these thief gloves right now. Just because I want to experiment a little bit with that. So we've got 2 different deals. We're coming up on time here pretty soon. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at crafting a glyph here, and then we'll probably be done. So we've got mountain copper here and this sky iron. Let's see what this sky iron will do for us if we give it enough of this stuff. So let's see. Oh, so we don't need these ashes because we've got enough for the tier 1 elemental. We've got bandages, which give us enough life. And it's the mountain goat. Oh, they can just traverse mountains and cliffs? I don't care about that. So, what is this? We got a fire wielder glyph. Let's see. This is just a glyph of healthy, and they get 200 daily regeneration. That's nice, but I don't think we need that. I think that these guys can probably use the glyph of fire welder. They're probably going to be pretty good with that. And then the glyph of the bowman. Let's hold off on that. I'm probably going to get bowmen that I'll want to use more later on. Reason why is just because these guys can't gain experience, and I really like people that can gain experience. So they obviously don't need the bowman because they don't do missile damage. XP bonus, I like that, but these guys, I mean, they're just tier 1s. I don't quite care so much to give tier 1 stuff extra. Whatever. We'll have them wait this turn because we want these guys, and they'll pop up in here, so they'll pop up just as part of the army. So we'll end the turn there. The books fly around, but how to access it? So we can summon a wisp in order to get more all-fire resource. But we will look at that resource next time because we are coming up on time. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope that y'all stay beardy out there.